Hey everyone, today we're talking about 5 tips to living in Utah with kids. Summers with Seasons Real Estate, and today we're talking about living in Utah with kids, and I'm going to give you 5 tips that are pretty hard to Google if you're not a local. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe so you can learn everything new about Utah and real estate. And if you're looking to move to Utah and looking for a realtor to help guide you through the whole process, reach out to me here. I'd love to help you. The first tip I'm going to cover today is we have half-day kindergarten. So if you have a kid that's going into kindergarten, please know that it's half day and it's either a morning shift or an afternoon shift, but it's a little tricky to organize childcare around kindergarten because it's only a half day. So the second tip we're going to talk about is childcare costs. So overall, Utah is ranked pretty affordable for childcare. We're number 2 on a list of what the median income is versus what our childcare costs are, and they can kind of be all over the place. If you have an infant, because it requires more work, the range is $325 clear up to $800 a month for your infant childcare costs. Now if you have a kid in school, which is a little bit different of a schedule, the cost for that is $240 a month to $600 a month. And then the third option, which is actually what we do with our kids, is we have an au pair, and she lives with us and works with the kids and has a set schedule, but then because she lives with us, it helps offset the expense, and it's about $500 a month. And if you want more in-depth details, feel free to reach out. I'll go over that. Not really related to moving to Utah, but we have found that it's the most affordable way to have childcare because we have 4 kids living in Utah. So the third tip I'm going to talk about is finding a rental. So in Utah, we use a website called KSL for most of our rental listings, which they have partnered with a company called Rentler, RENTLER.com. And that is where you'll be able to find the most amount of rentals in Utah. Now, Utah does not actually have realtors do rentals, so it's kind of a free-for-all, finding your own, reaching out to property managers or property owners to find a rental. So it's a little bit trickier, so I would recommend starting your search for your rental long before you actually get here. So my 4th tip is how to find schools or neighborhoods with a lot of kids. Because if you have kids and you're moving into the area, you probably are concerned about your kids having neighbors and friends. So I have this really cool app that will let you pick a certain neighborhood and a house, and then when you click on the house, it'll let you know the student to teacher ratio. The higher the student to teacher ratio, that means there's more kids in that particular area. We have some areas in Orem where the schools are actually being closed down because there's not enough kids in that area, where we have areas in Saratoga that have tons of kids, so the teacher to student ratio is really high. But one thing with the higher student to teacher ratio is those schools that have the higher student to teacher ratio typically have a teacher's aide in the class to help offset the student teacher ratio, but it does help you know how many kids are in the area and neighborhoods. If you are looking for that, feel free to reach out to me here and just text to my phone number app, and I will send you my app so you can start searching on your own. And the last tip I'm going to cover, tip number 5, is when does school start? In Utah County, the 3 school districts are Alpine School District, Provo School District, and Nebo School District, and they all start the 2nd or 3rd week in August and go till the last week in May. And in Salt Lake County, it's very similar, except Jordan School District, which is South Jordan, Harriman, Riverton, they have an option to do school all year round. So if you're looking in that area, that could be an option, but they also have the 9-month schedule. So one last tip about schools is if your child is going to be 5 on August 31st, they'll go into kindergarten, but if they turn 5 on September 1st, they're gonna wait a year and be in the next grade up. If you're moving to Utah and you'd like my guidance to help you buy, reach out to me. I would love to guide you through the process.